So in this video, we're going to take a look at a really classy guitar from D'Angelico. This is a Deluxe Limited Edition EX SS. This really cool semi-hollow body electric guitar has two Seymour Duncan DA-59 pickups and a 6-way toggle switch, which we're going to talk about that toggle switch a little later on. This guitar is a little bit out of my personal comfort zone, being more of a rock and a metal guitar player. Primarily, a lot of the videos on my channel have been of Strandberg guitars or Kiesel guitars or Schecter guitars, something that tends to be more aggressive. This is clearly more geared in mind with either a jazz or like a blues player in mind. This guitar is beautiful. I love the color combination that they have here on the model that I have. This lighter blue color paired with the gold accents on the hardware is really classy. I mean, this guitar is beautiful. The neck and the body of this guitar feature a off-white binding accent, and it has this sort of small sort of pinstripe almost that goes around the edge as well. Matching again on the body and the neck is really beautiful, and it really just makes the edges of the neck and the guitar pop. With that 6-way toggle switch, you also get a dedicated volume knob and tone knob for each pickup. So it kind of has your typical like Les Paul sort of a control setup is kind of what I think of with, you know, 4 knobs like that. That way you can have different settings on each pickup as you toggle through. You know, you're not gonna have to reach down and readjust. You can have it, you know, set. Maybe you want the neck to be darker sounding and that tone knob is really rolled back, but then the bridge is more open. So you can have all that sort of set up as you're playing and less sort of tinkering with the knobs, you know, once you get playing through your tunes. So I think that's really cool and definitely offers a wide variety of sort of sonic capabilities. This guitar also has a tortoise pickguard, which offsets it again with this sort of classy old school vintage vibe. I also love the headstock of the guitar. It has this sort of gold little crown sort of accent in the middle of the top. These sort of retro, they make me think of like Roaring Twenties, tuning keys, and then a mirrored truss rod cover as well. So the guitar is unbelievably classy. It's really striking. I've pulled this guitar out for a couple of my lessons in the past week or so, and all of my students are all like, what is that? And that's really cool. And they're used to me playing, you know, metal guitars, so this one is obviously totally different. And everybody loves the way it looks and loves the way it sounds. I think the guitar just oozes class. Those tuning keys are also locking tuners. They're Grover tuners, so they're really nice. They're really well made, make string changes a breeze, really quick and easy. If you've never used locking tuners before, it's just so much better. No more messing around, try to get it to stay as you wind it. You just string straight up through, clip it, clamp it in place, and everything is good to go. So I love that they included those locking tuners. At a guitar with around a $2,000 price point, it should have high quality hardware, and this instrument definitely does. The tailpiece of this guitar is another sort of classy little touch. It's a D'Angelico staircase tailpiece, and I think it looks really cool. Again, everything about this guitar is just really classy. It sets it off. I'm really kind of starting to get into the vein of these kind of guitars. I think I'm going to take a look at another D'Angelico guitar very soon, as well as a couple Gretches I have my eye on. So now that we're about halfway through the video, if you like it, please hit like and subscribe. Do all the YouTube stuff. Helps our little channel continue to grow. Here we do product reviews, original progressive metal music, and free guitar lessons. Those are the kind of categories we cover, so if you're digging it, you know, again, hit like and subscribe, do the YouTube stuff. Let me know down below about what you think of how this guitar looks and sound as well. It's been a while since I played around with a semi-hollow body guitar, and you get that nice warm tone. It's also very loud, sort of playing it acoustically, not even plugged in, which is kind of cool. It's been so long since I played one, I forgot just how loud it can be, especially if you get banging away, strumming some chords. But that nice warm kind of tone really fits jazz or blues really nicely, and the action and playability of this guitar is fantastic. Right out of the box, there was no need for tweaking it at all. It was just ready to go, ready to play, nice low action, no fret buzz. This instrument is clearly well made and ready to serve you for many years. The neck of this guitar features really nice looking pearloid block inlays in a ebony fingerboard, and it has a 3-piece walnut and maple neck. The finish on the back of the neck, even though it matches that of the body, is very smooth, it's very fast, it's very playable. It's not like a high gloss finish that's gonna get kind of gummed up and slow you down when you're playing, you know, some sort of like a slidey lick. This one is very playable. I actually really like the surface and the sort of matte quality to the finish. Again, it's matching the body and as well as the back of the neck. The neck is also a set neck, which I totally love. I personally prefer either neck through or set neck construction. I think you get a little bit more resonance and a little bit more sustain out of it. I know the snappiness or the sort of twang from a bolt-on can be totally cool, but for my own personal preferences, I do really like that set neck or neck through design, which this guitar does have. All in all, this instrument is totally worthy of its price tag. It is expensive and it was made in Korea, but it really plays nice and it really is gorgeous. So that price tag is totally warranted. I think the demo kind of shows just how good this instrument sounds and plays and looks and all that kind of good stuff. The only thing I don't like about this guitar is unfortunately that 6-way toggle switch. Now the 6 ways is super cool, you know, the ability to have extra settings on there, you're gonna get more out of those pickups, which is great, but I don't like the way that it functions. I've never ran into a pickup selector switch that functions this way in 20 years of playing, although admittedly I don't play these style guitars that often, but it functions in almost like a turning sort of a manner, which makes quick pickup changes kind of tricky and a little cumbersome. I'm used to a Strat-like pickup switch, or even like a Les Paul switch where you can just whack it with your hand real quick and just the momentum is gonna travel, you know, either down or up and get it to stop in the position that you want. This one takes a little bit more fiddling with. The more I played it and the more that I taught on it especially, I did get better at the function of it and understood which way you have to move the switch in order to get it to go the direction that you want. But I will say, you know, that's definitely something to be aware of. The switch is a little funky, it's a little weird, it's definitely something I've never come across before. This instrument has all sorts of fun, really cool details. I love the mirrored truss rod cover. I love the way the tuning keys look. They're very 1920s. They make me think a little bit of like The Great Gatsby. It has that kind of vibe and look to it. The volume and tone knob are no exception. I really like the thin little lines that they have that basically show you which way 100% is, and they have this sort of like almost kind of like marbled kind of a quality to them, which is really cool. It's a nice little touch. I love the tailpiece and the sort of staircase design to it. This instrument is so beautiful. It's so cool. It's the only guitar I've ever had where my wife actually wants me to keep it, which is absolutely hilarious to me. So if you're a blues or a jazz guitar player looking for a great semi-hollow body instrument, I would definitely recommend this one. It's clearly worthy taking the time to check it out. I think cosmetically, it's just unbelievably striking, and it also plays and sounds great, especially in those genres. So thanks for watching this video. Take it easy.